So, I would like to discuss an update on Sweden and its love of diversity. So, Dalsland, which is going to be in the Bengtsfjord, Mellerud, upper part of Västra Götaland area, they have essentially refused, it's been in the newspaper, not that you could read it, it's in Swedish, but it's been in the Swedish newspaper, that Dalsland is no longer taking in any more asylum seekers at all. It has blatantly refused. And it's also been in the newspaper that communities are now banning, or not banning, I'm sorry, they are now revoking funding for the refugees if they live in certain communities where they seem to have too many refugees. And there are some communities who are just saying that there are too many refugees in their community. And needless to say, those refugees are going to be losing their welfare. So that's interesting. It seems like there has been a significant turnaround with people's tolerance, which you're not going to see in the global news. Also, I had a lovely conversation with a lovely painter up in Mellerud, and we talked about how Melbo, which is they own a bunch of apartments in stora affär, fastighetsbolaget, yeah. Anyways, it's a lot of different apartments, and they were talking about how they're looking to hire Arabic speaking people because they've had so many problems in the community areas, such as the washrooms. Here, the apartments often you share a laundry facility, and apparently the tenants who are of a Middle Eastern background, obviously because they are looking for Arabic speakers, well, they keep trashing the washrooms, they leave things out. They've also talked about how they're having to get more cleaners for the city, just everything, because these people are throwing trash out into the streets. They're throwing trash into the hallways. I know my apartment complex up in Mellerud, there's always something being thrown out, and in the community area next to the bikes down in the basement, källaren, there's lots of couches and other old furniture down there that should not be sitting there because it's blocking things. And also we have a lot of fun with my apartment because every once in a while my apartment smells like marijuana. So that's fun. You know, if you were a pot smoking hippie, I'd be fine with that, but these people aren't pot smoking hippies. They are illegals, and most of them don't work, and we can't identify them because they burn their documentation so they can say that they're stateless and can't be deported. And a fun update, if you are in the Mellerud area, it was in the local news. There were a bunch of youths and somebody got stabbed to death. And the fun thing about that is I was up at 1 a.m. listening to a murder while people screamed outside my window. So that was really fun. You have people murdering each other in the countryside, and you have the pot smoking illegal immigrants living a floor below you. And then you have people trashing the washrooms, throwing crap into the hallways, and yeah. The tolerance for this government mandated diversity program, it's just completely ended. It's no longer wanted. People will not tolerate it, and I can tell you that I've had some negative experiences with the diversity here, but luckily for me, it's never been that bad. I would say overall, I still feel safer here in Sweden than I would in the United States. But if you look at the crime statistics in comparison to, say, the United States, Sweden will always be statistically safer. Though I do worry that maybe I will find a grenade next to my door one of these days when the pot smoking illegal immigrants realize who keeps reporting them. Needless to say, I'm hoping to move out of that complex soon. I already don't really live there for the majority of the time because it's just, who wants to listen to murders and look at Nazi symbols and the recycling area and then be too scared to go do their laundry and all these other things? Anyways, just if you wanted a little update on the countryside of the Västra Götalands in Sweden, diversity is not working, it's not tolerated, and as far as I know, a lot of communities are trying to put up roadblocks, have refugees' welfare taken away, and okay then. And let's not get started on some of the lovely legal migrants who actually have jobs and do what they need to do and aren't criminals who are getting deported instead of the rapists. There are a lot of lovely articles about that. I think I'll start reading some Swedish articles here soon so people can just get an idea of the country and not the propaganda that they spew out of their asses. Anyways, have a good one.